Can you see me? Okay. The last time I had any connection with Kensington High was in 1998 when I wrote my last matric paper and couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. I was going to embark on a new life of which Kensington High did not form a part because it was in my past. Well, you want to go to the next slide? Okay, click again, Hazel. Thank you. Yeah, that's me.
And me.
In the 1990s, 1996 or 7, round about there, smart, know-it-all little girl that thought she had life figured out. And that guy over there is Sean Bartlett, for those of you who don't know. He was all the rage back in the day. And he came to visit Kensington High that day. He was also an ex-learner, and as you can imagine, all the girls were completely in a fizz. At the same time, there was a certain Mrs. Manuels, also a teacher at Kensington High, around about the same time, and that's Hazel, more or less the same time as... And so, yes, we were at the same school. Hazel was not my teacher during that time, but I'm pretty sure I encountered her at one point or the other because I was one of those misunderstood ones. Thanks, Hazel. Okay, so Hazel will talk you through little bit quickly about what Kensington High is, who they are, the journey that they've been on.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Hazel Manuels. I'm the principal of Kensington High School. And in 2014, we moved into this beautiful building. It was opened by the Honorable President Jacob Zuma, and we were all excited about this new building. But our challenges were there. Our challenge of Kensington is gangsterism, drug abuse, learners being shot at in the morning. We're a math, science, and technology focused school, and the department was on our case to produce, the whole story around mathematics, and there I sat in 2018, 2019, appointed as a principal of Kensington High School, and here I sat with this big tamalechi, and I saw and I told the SMT, and we realized that we needed help. Our vision was to be a school of excellence, and not everybody was buying into this vision. So we needed help, and on one dreary day, rainy day, in walks a Mr. Moore. Mr. Moore asked me, do I want to be part of this project, Partners for Possibility? I said yes. I filled in the forms, and I didn't hear from him for a few months. And I waited, and I sent him emails, and I was pounding on him, when are you going to put me on this program? I heard very good things about this program. I want to be part of this program. Luckily for me, I believe it was a godsend. One of our neighboring schools cancelled, and this is where my journey with Lindsay Joseph started. And this is our journey. I thought at first, I'm going to be open and frank, I thought they are going to give us money. We needed a field. The staff told me, I told them about this project. They told me, Juffrou sê vir hulle, ons bekeer 'n sportveld. Ons wil niks anders hê van Pioneer Foodsie. Ons wil net 'n sportveld hê. So when I went, I met Lindsay, and I thought they are going to make our dreams a reality. And then I discovered our relationship is not transactional. Our relationship was a relationship of transformation. And I'm going to hand over to Lindsay to talk about our transformational journey. Lindsay? Yeah.
So, 2 decades after that picture of us, 2 decades and a couple of years, we find ourselves meeting again. You can go to the next one, Hazel. Okay. So in our first meeting, it was just by coincidence where I I mean, yeah, Ridwan, you were talking about just, being connected spiritually, and so were you, Sam, and it's just so completely true, because I don't believe that things like this happen by accident. Someone fell off the program for Pioneer Foods. I had absolutely no interest in participating because I was like seriously busy, and then there was no one else who put their hands up, and I said, sure. The list of schools that were presented to me was the schools in Philia, Sunderland Primary, and they partnered me with Sunderland Primary, and the next email I got was, well done, you've been partnered with Kensington High. And I replied and I said, Pumeza, don't you mean Sunderland Primary? And she said, oh, no, sorry, he's not available anymore. So it was completely bizarre, but I don't think by accident. It was divine intervention, probably. Be that as it may, I met Hazel, phenomenal, and can I add that she's not just a school principal, but she's the first female school principal in the last 63 years, which is exceptional. And so we just discussed in terms of what the options were, how she wanted to proceed on this journey, and what she wanted to get out of it. Because we've got to meet the people, the person where they are. Okay. And so we decided, let's embark on this journey where she was newly appointed into this role. Everything was new to her. She was a deputy, but assuming full accountability for the school is a completely different responsibility. So we focused on her journey in terms of the self, her journey with her team, and her journey with the organization at large. And we crafted a roadmap for her because it was always the plan that Hazel's development must be sustainable beyond this process. I mean, Hazel's development and growth is supported by this journey, but it's by no means going to end through this journey. Okay, so we crafted, you can go? Okay. Just a detailed measurements and action plan for her that she can utilize beyond this journey. One more, Hazel. Yeah. And we focused and listed specific interventions and development actions linked to each one. So for example, linked to the self would be understanding how do you transition from a specialist to a general manager. It's completely different. An example in terms of working within a team context, how do you energize and engage your team? How do you focus on their development and growth? What about talent and succession? You've got a whole lot of retirees coming up. How are you going to make sure that you have the right supply of people filling those positions? In terms of the organization at large, financial controls was a huge issue for Hazel. And we spoke about, we use the context of a corporate environment with the CEO and the CFO and the partnership between the two, and how that's so fundamentally important, because you can have an exceptional school, but if you have no money, you ain't going nowhere. So she needed to get a grasp around that. So we discussed all of those components, and that was our focus for the journey. Okay, and I mean, we're going to get to some of the stuff that we did a little bit later on, but in terms of just the learnings from my side, I'll keep it high level. It was really just 3 core things, and it's a culmination of everything over the past year, from the training to my engagements with this phenomenal woman, to my engagements with all of you. I mean, Heini, you don't understand how inspiring you are, as well as you, Samuel, everyone else, but I've been particularly touched by the 2 of you. I just want to tell you that. As well as the business partners, just everything that I've learned from you guys as well. And of course, Siddiq. These have been my 3 core things. It was just around understanding the power of incisive questioning and language. This was an easy one because I've always loved language, and I understand why. Now, they talk in Time to Think in Community Building about language having the power to change the energy in the room, questions having the power to really redirect where conversation is going to go, and so that was so important. Really understanding what lies at the heart of transformation, and it's nothing that I thought it was. As well as understanding the concept of possibility and what that really and truly means. Rama Naidu spoke about you can't talk about the past because then you're working from a position of brokenness, and you're not going to go anywhere from a position of brokenness, so you have to work from a position of possibility, and that really made an impression on impact on me. And I think because of that, I have enhanced coaching, facilitation, project management, change management skills. And I'd also like to add emotional wisdom, because I think this whole program really comes down to emotional wisdom, Louise, really it does. I'll hand over to Hazel.
Yes, so I would like to take the opportunity to thank Siddiq, Partners for Possibility, for empowering us, for empowering me. Didn't just stay with me. The soft skills that you empowered me with, capacitating me. I really do appreciate it. And it didn't stay with me, as I said, it filtered through my staff management team, my post-level 1 educators, and at the end of the day, our learners, our clients, we call them our clients, they were the beneficiaries. So the program, the first workshop that I went to, and I want to say I just went there once, and then I fell and I couldn't complete the second day. Do you remember? So we did the time to think, valuable, absolutely valuable. It taught me not to interrupt, but to listen and to give the person the opportunity to complete their thoughts. Then assertiveness. This is a skill that I needed, and I was capacitated in this regard. I particularly love the wants, expressing what you want. And I can see in my staff with my SMT, expressing, saying, this is what I want. So thank you for that skill, and communicating what I want. And at the end of the day, we could see the end product. I'm rushing. The community building workshop was extremely valuable. After that workshop, my one deputy went with me. After that, we had a frank and open discussion with the SMT, our staff. We could discuss our performance management, and I could see the change and the difference in delivering of our curriculum. The empowering I talked about, we focus on solutions, trying to get solutions, and then, very important, on this journey, Partners of Possibility, the coaching, the one-on-one that I had with Lindsay. I live in Kuils River, and then I come from Kensington, all the way on the N1, going to Lindsay, having this person, having the support. The WCED, they appoint you, they take you on a 5-day crash course at CTLI, and they leave you to your own devices. So I want to thank Partners for Possibility for giving me the support that I needed, and having this coach here, one-on-one sessions, and capacitating me. So my journey was a life-changing journey. Our aim at the school is to change our learners' destiny. And I want to say thank you for Partners for Possibility for supporting us in delivering and making this vision a reality. So at the end of the day, thank you for Lindsay for equipping me with enhanced leadership skills. Lindsay, I'm going to hand over to my other deputy, Ms. Stein. I brought them with, so Ms. Stein will just say what the advantages of this course means for our school. This is Chantal Stein.
Good evening, everybody. Just in short, I'd like to say what Partners for Possibility has done at our school. Mrs. Manuels and myself, we've walked this journey. I've walked this journey with her for 15 years. I started at Kensington High as a novice. And then when she became the deputy, I was her assistant, helping her with the textbook. She's now the principal, and now I'm deputy in training. So we're thankful for Partners of Possibility. Firstly, I am a student, an education student, so I know what benefits professional development has, especially with the coaching and the mentoring that she's been receiving from Lindsay. Forgot my thoughts. The second thing is I know how, I actually wrote it down. Oh, as a member of the staff development team, and money always being an issue, I know it was a real investment to our school when we heard that Pioneer Foods was investing over 100,000 Rand in our manager, in our leader. It was heartwarming for me, because I know how important professional development is. I think what stands out most for me as I watch my principal grow into a post is the assertiveness and how she holds people accountable. And when we had our conversation, she said she could only grow in her assertiveness and everything she does because of Lindsay, because of the coaching, and because of Partners for Possibility. So we're really thankful, and we say thank you to Lindsay and Partners of Possibility.
Okay, just about done. I know you guys are ready for a break. But just to quickly run through, again, Hazel, yeah, very high level, some of the stuff that we did this past year. So those were the 3 core focus areas, just to structure our conversations and what we were going to do. From a self perspective, we did about 6 coaching sessions, which was really focused around her transition into this leadership role, into the CEO of Kensington High. I also did a couple of observations of her in action, took notes, sat quietly in the corner, engaged, observed, and gave her feedback separately. We also, Hazel contracted with an external partner to come in and facilitate a session regarding roles and responsibilities for the SMT. And the point that you made, Ridwan, that the school will only be as successful as developed and engaged the staff are. It's the same in a corporate context. I mean, it's engagement 101. So making sure that the SMT and Hazel is 100% aligned was a core priority for us. And so our plan didn't even include cascading all the way down to learners. The focus was completely on the top, because if you get it right there, it works all the way down. Oopsie, Hazel, what did they know? Okay. Supporting and embedding all the related initiatives around that. We also did a session with the SMT. They were busy with their educator development planning process, which I was horrified to witness because it seemed such a laborious paper exercise. I felt sorry for Ms. Stein because she had to consolidate that stuff, and I said, you guys just need like a 1-pager, can I give you a 1-pager? But we ran a session and spoke about performance management best practices, as well as the importance of not just making assumptions regarding what somebody needs in terms of their learning and development, but really spending time with the individual. And Chantal was instrumental in pulling that information together as well. And then finally, we started discussions with subject matter experts. Kensington High is a math, science, and technology-focused schools, but from a mathematics perspective, there's lots of work to be done. So Siti directed us towards an individual who's a subject matter expert. We had initial discussions with her regarding supporting and crafting just the curriculum in that regard. And then I would say the biggest learning from my perspective for Hazel this year is taking control of the financial controls and management of the school. That is fundamentally an important thing, and if she only just achieved that this year, then she has done a hell of a lot. So that was significant for her. And then going forward, I have made myself available to her if she will have me. That's just the teams in action at the facilitated sessions. You can quickly go. What do we want to focus on? No more coaching. She needs to hone and embed her skills now. Practice, practice, practice. Leaders are not made in a classroom. They are made on the job. And we will ask Ms. Williams and Ms. Stein for feedback. I have challenged her to do a 360. I'll see if she bites. And then we also want to continue, if Sadiq will oblige, with the performance management KPI session with the SMT. You can't say no because I've said it out loud now. As well as a team building session for the teams, because we want them to also have fun. What is it with the school environment? It is heavy. The atmosphere is heavy. It needs to be a little bit lighter. So we want them to have fun as well. And then with regards to creating Hazel's vision for creating an effective and dynamic school, further looking at opportunities for the felt. We need to fix that felt. And I've started asking for exploring opportunities, and I'm pretty sure that hopefully by the end of 2020 we'll be able to do something there. They gave them a nice and beautiful school, but left all the rubble buried in the ground. And then just an opportunities to upgrade the staff room, as well as looking at the school feeding scheme. Hazel, I will leave it up to you to close.
Yeah, so that is our story. It was a beautiful journey because Lindsay is an ex-learner and Lindsay shared in our vision. So thank you very much.